As the partial government shutdown hits 24 days, affected federal employees are being offered assistance from area banks to bridge the gap until their next paycheck. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, during the extended partial shutdown of the federal government, local banks are doing what they can to help federal employees waiting for a paycheck. Dozens of local employees are out of work currently, as federal agencies affected by the partial shutdown include the Scotts Bluff National Monument, our local USDA offices, and the local Internal Revenue Service office. Reports show that affected federal employees received a pay stub showing all zeros, and that means no paycheck to pay for their mortgage, utilities, groceries, and other day-to-day necessities. During the extended partial shutdown of the federal government, local banks are doing what they can to help federal employees waiting for a paycheck. Platte Valley Companies President and CEO Hod Kosmans told KNEB News that they are here to help the citizens of the great communities we live in and serve in.
We've instituted a zero interest, zero fee, really easy process that they can come and get their paycheck from us. And when they get their paycheck, they can give it back to us. So pretty easy process, and something we really believe we can do to help our local area. We can't do much about Washington, but we can sure do something about local.
Other banks that we've talked to that are also doing what they can to help include First State Bank, Western States Bank, and First National Bank North Platte. Well, friends, families, and much of the Lyman community are mourning the tragic death of two parents who were struck and killed during a Friday afternoon crash north of Cheyenne. The Wyoming Highway Patrol says 26-year-old Miguel Cruz and 29-year-old Selena Cruz were struck and killed by a possible drunk driver. Leela Mikesell of Cheyenne was driving on Highway 85, crossed the center line, and struck the Cruz's minivan head-on. The crash killed Mikesell as well, and troopers say that reckless driving and impaired driving are being investigated as contributing factors into the crash. And the Sheridan County deputy who was arrested last summer for child abuse will be sentenced this week in Box Butte County District Court. 40-year-old Chris Henry will be sentenced on Friday on a Class 3A felony charge of intentional child abuse resulting in no injury. In November, he pleaded guilty to that charge, and a charge of strangulation was dismissed. Court documents say that during the July 2018 incident, Henry knowingly or intentionally caused or permitted a minor child to be cruelly punished. There was no affidavit filed in that case detailing the circumstances of the investigation. Special Prosecutor Doug Warner says Henry will be sentenced in Box Butte County District Court by Judge Derek Weimer this Friday. Well, straight ahead, Bill Boyer will be in with your full week weather forecast. He'll be back with that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as iPay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit. So you can bank how you want, when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Pool together all your money with a friend and invest in 2 Arby's French Dip and Swiss sandwiches for just $6. It's the perfect get-rich-quick on sandwiches scenario. Arby's, we have the meats.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the Arby's Weather Center. Arby's, we have the meats.
Clear sky is going to rule the weather this evening. We're going to have temps in the 20s. cooling off into the upper teens. It's going to be another chilly night out there, but that's still normal for this time of year. Couple more mild days. A pattern change is coming, though. We see rain and snow late Thursday, and it's going to turn progressively cooler as we go through the next several days. 45 and 13 are highs and lows yesterday. Right about normal for this time of year, slightly above normal. Nothing in the rain gauge. Ended up with 500s total from some of that rain shower activity that we had on Friday. Let's take a look at the last couple of weeks, and boy, we have been above normal. We started New Year's Day very cold with highs only in the teens. We were right about normal on the 2nd of January, and since then, we've been above normal every single day. Now, that is going to change coming as soon as the next week. 6 to 10 day outlook. Look at this large area of colder temperatures, or at least below normal temps. That includes all of us here in the high plains. The colder air, I think, will be just off to our east, but we're still going to be on the edge of that cold air and moist also. Chances of above normal precip. So let's hope we can get in that 6 to 10 day period and get in on that. Tomorrow, not seeing any of that. Sunshine when you get on the bus at about 18. We'll come home at 50 with lots of sun, and it is going to be mild out there. Well, we are going to deal with some winds tomorrow as well, mainly in the wind-prone areas of Wyoming. Let's take a look at this high wind watch for tomorrow. It uncovers areas from Chugwater up to Slater near Wheatland. Those wind-prone areas, including that I-25 corridor, where things get very windy. Blowover risk going to be high in those areas as well. Temperatures right now in the 30s across Nebraska and eastern portions of Wyoming. Notice those cool single-digit readings up in the high country of Wyoming. We're not in that ballpark here. Mid-30s primarily for everyone. 39 at Torrington, the warmest location. Winds out of the west, northwest, under 10 miles an hour, so not much in the way of wind chill with the exception of those windier areas there in eastern Wyoming. Well, we have a total lunar eclipse coming up. So we've talked about an eclipse already a couple of years ago. This, though, is a total lunar eclipse coming Sunday night. The partial eclipse begins at about 7:30 our time. Then you'll see that by 7:36, that is when the partial eclipse begins. Now by 9:41, that is when the total eclipse is going to take over, and the Earth's shadow is going to cast across the moon. It's going to be a super blood moon is what a lot of folks are referring to. By 10:12, that should be the maximum eclipse. Then the total eclipse is going to end about 10:40. And then as we go through the rest of the evening, by 11 o'clock, almost midnight, that partial lunar eclipse ends and things move on. So that gives you a time frame of when to be looking outdoors Sunday night to see this. The bad news is, things not looking great in the viewing area. We're going to be dealing with quite a few clouds Sunday night, and it looks like right now poor conditions here in our area for viewing that total lunar eclipse. We'll keep an eye on it, though, as we get closer to Sunday. Windy in the high country tonight. Our futurecast otherwise has clear skies out there. Not much doing in the weather department tonight. It is going to be very nice and comfortable. Low temperatures going to be in the upper teens to low 20s. As we take a look here in our area, right about those upper teens and low 20s out there tonight for lows. Tomorrow then we're going to be dealing with sunshine overhead, windy conditions here in the high country where those high wind watches are at. Aside from that, we're going to be dealing with mainly sunny skies and increase in clouds later on in the afternoon into the evening hours, but that is really it. Not much happening out there in the weather department as it is going to be very dry and comfortable tomorrow. Highs back into the low 50s here in our region. Very nice weather conditions. 51 in LaGrange and Torrington, 49 in Albin. Put the forecast together for you tonight. Heading to Chimney Rock, 17. Lots of stars, a clear night out there. Tomorrow, pretty nice day. Sunshine overhead. Partly cloudy at times. It's going to be quite mild with highs in the low 50s. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, there comes that change. It's going to be late Thursday. Have about a 50% chance of some late day rain and snow showers Thursday night. Those may linger into early Friday, but we're only going to be in the low 30s on Friday. So falling from many, many days in a row of above normal temps to below normal temps starting on Friday. Saturday then highs only in the mid 30s again. We may rebound Sunday, Monday into the low 40s, only to have another system come in, I think, late Monday into Tuesday of next week that's going to knock us down even colder again.
You never know when you'll need an extra French dip in Swiss. It could get lost in the car or eaten by a confused stranger. Stuff happens to sandwiches. That's why Arby's made you 2 French dip and Swiss sandwiches for just $6. For only $6, you'll always have a spare French dip and Swiss until you eat it. You'll never have to be afraid. Arby's, we have the meats.
Why should you come out to Double L Country Store in Banner County? Because we serve locally raised beef, chicken, and bison, and our hamburger buns, cabbage burgers, and pies are homemade every day. Breakfast is served daily from 8 to 11, with all-you-can-eat pancakes on Saturday. Or join us Friday nights for Burger Fest. Choose from 6 specialty burgers or build your own. And for dessert, make sure you save room for one of our homemade milkshakes. We are worth the drive here at Double L Country Store on Highway 71, just 10 minutes south of the Wildcats.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes high-performance lubricants and fuel improvers. We've been helping customers improve their operations for over 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and cut out the middleman and offer excellent service and value. Our products last longer and work better so that you spend less time maintaining equipment and more time making money. Whether you're in a factory, farm, fleet, or food processing facility, Hydrotex can help you. Visit hydrotexoil.com or call 308-635-8162.
The leaves are turning and the temperatures are cooling, so it's time to come harvest the deals at the Viera Wireless Fall Savings Sale. Right now, get your family high-speed, truly unlimited mobile data for just $35 per line with 4 lines. Prices have never been lower for unlimited data. Plus, trade in your current phone and get up to $500 off the latest iPhone and Samsung models. Those are incredible savings on the most popular and advanced smartphones. Don't miss out on our fall savings sale. Hurry into Viero today.
Welcome back. A 49-year-old Panhandle woman has been arrested following a Sunday stabbing at a Chapel residence. The Dual County Sheriff's Office says they were dispatched to Dana Avenue for disturbance where a woman stabbed a man and then fled the area. The suspect was identified as 49-year-old Susan Glenn of Chapel, and deputies from the Dual and Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office were able to locate Glenn. She was interviewed at the Dual County Sheriff's Office and was arrested. The victim received treatment and was transported to the Sidney Regional Medical Center and is listed in stable condition. No formal charges were filed as of midday Monday. The case remains under investigation. Glenn is currently being detained at the Lincoln County Detention Center in North Platte. Well, today, Governor Pete Ricketts signed a proclamation declaring Wednesday, January 16th, as Religious Freedom Day in Nebraska. The governor was joined by faith leaders, state senators, and representatives from the Nebraska Family Alliance and Nebraska Catholic Conference.
It is so important that we recognize religious freedom in our country for many reasons. First of all, it's one of the distinguishing characteristics of our republic that we have enshrined in our Constitution, that the government shall not dictate any religion to us or prevent the establishment or prevent us from practicing our religion. And that's not something we can take for granted.
And a Panhandle nursing home is scheduled to close due to financial problems. The staff and 34 residents at Sidney Care and Rehabilitation Center were notified last week of the decision. The nursing home was state-operated after being placed in receivership last March when Cottonwood Healthcare notified state officials about its financial crisis. Ken Klassmeyer of Klassmeyer and Associates took over in the interim, but says the Sidney facility was unable to become financially viable. Well, straight ahead, Chris Cottrell will be in with a recap of the weekend that was in local sports. Don't touch that dial. KNEB.TV Sports will be back right after the break.
Across the state, every eye and ear is focused on one stadium where the sea of red is man-made. A place where every Saturday is a stage for our team, for our resolve, and for our values.
It's toughness, it's dedication, it's work ethic. That's what Nebraska is.
This is Husker Nation.
Anyone who calls it a hobby doesn't understand. We know that a person's passion is what drives them. And that's why every memorial we create is a true reflection of the individual. Only a Dignity Memorial professional can celebrate a life like no other. Find out how at dignitynebraska.com.
We can't warn you that karma is very real. But we can bring you Temperature Tuesdays. Runza makes it all better.
Now, sports from the Western Hearing Clinic Sports Desk. Western Hearing Clinic, the Panhandle's choice for better hearing, helping you hear what matters most.
We'll start our early week update from here at the Sports Desk with a look back at our TV action from Friday night. It was the Scotts Bluff girls and boys opening up a Cheyenne weekend, hosting East High School in a pair. Both teams from East came in highly ranked second in the Wyoming 4A polls, and they showed everyone in attendance why. Really, for the Scotts Bluff girls, a pretty solid outing. The East girls came in with a record at 12-1 on the year, opening quarter, and the Lady Cats get a nice boost off the bench from junior big Emma Herman, who scored 5 points, including a rare three-pointer for the 6-footer, as Scotts Bluff trailed by 6 points after that opening 8 minutes of action. Second quarter, some fine play from East lanky junior Madison Blaney, who scored 6 of her team-high 16 in that second stanza. Despite the efforts of Blaney, Scotts Bluff able to cut the halftime deficit to 4. They trailed 25-21 at halftime. We'll jump ahead right now to the fourth quarter. Scotts Bluff entered the fourth down by 11, trying to forge their way back into it. They were able to make things interesting behind the hot shooting of Aubrey Krentz, as she's wont to do. Krentz started cooking and got it going from behind the arc. She drained 4 big threes en route to scoring 15 of her game-high 20 points in the final quarter. Scotts Bluff was able to whittle the deficit down to around 5 points or so in the final quarter, but in the end, too much from East as they get the victory on the road, 67-58. Now to the boys' game, and again, East entered ranked second in Wyoming big class basketball, and they featured probably the best player in that entire state, smooth 6'3" senior, the lefty, Eric Oliver. We'll get to Oliver here shortly. Scotts Bluff came out strong in this one, had 6 different players score points in the first quarter, including a pair of field goals early from Josiah Diolas. They got 3-point shots from Harold Baez and Dawson Moore. Baez and Moore combined for 16 points off the bench in this one. Second quarter, and it's East getting a boost from behind the 3-point line from a couple of their unsung type guys. Tanner Muchmore drains one off the left wing, and then with some foul trouble, East turned to reserve guard Jake Rail for some help, and he delivered a pair of buckets from downtown. East goes into the locker room leading by 3. I mentioned Eric Oliver. Let's get to him. He was impressive. Came in averaging 20. He got that many in the second half alone. You name it, Oliver was doing it. Scoring in the paint. The mid-range game solid. The occasional 3-point field goal. Igniting transition off of defense for points. And he hit the offensive glass with a reckless abandon. Came in hitting over 50% from 3, 72% percentage from his 2-point field goal attempts this year, and Oliver scored 9 in the third quarter and 11 more in the fourth. The Cats' Connor McCracken scored 10 of his team-high 17 in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough as East prevails by the final of 71-60. Both Scotts Bluff teams went over to Cheyenne on Saturday and dropped games at Central High School. Basketball-wise, late this afternoon and this evening here at KNEB, it's the Husker men playing at Indiana.
Well, you know, the way I look at it, Indiana's got one first-team all-league player and a lottery pick, and they're not the same person. So when you get outside of that, they still have a bunch of real talented guys. Certainly a challenge to win at Assembly Hall, but we've been fortunate to do it a few times. You have to go in there, have a real Warriors mentality. With Coach Archie Miller, you got to really guard their actions. They're good in transition. They run clever stuff, and they're rock solid defensively. So,
Late afternoon tip time of 4:30 as Nebraska tries to get back to 500 in the league at the Hoosiers. That's the latest today from the Western Hearing Clinic Sports Desk at KNEB. I'm Chris Cottrell. Ryan comes back with a check on that community calendar right after this on KNEB.TV.
Compliments for You and Your Home has got the latest decor. Come in today and see what you can create. Start with great home decor from Uttermost, lamps, chairs, and vases for any taste. Need a little light for a more intimate feeling? Flameware is a recharging LED light that simulates candle flames. Rootworks bowls are hand-carved, one-of-a-kind wooden bowls you can't find anywhere else. Finally, for a little accent, try these leather and Western-style pillows from High End. Compliments for You and Your Home, downtown Scotts Bluff.
It's a friendly town, that's for sure. Not too big, not too small. Seems like everybody knows your name.
We stick together through thick and thin. That's the way it's always been. 'Cause where we live is still our claim to fame. We love this town, this grand old town. There's not another
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
The kids need to run off some energy after school or too cold to play outside? Bring them to Planet Bounce at the Monument Mall. With many bounce houses, a concession stand, and the largest redemption arcade around, Planet Bounce has hours of fun. Call today to schedule your birthday party, or ask Ron about renting a bounce house for your party, office party, or corporate event. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Planet Bounce Family Fun Center at the Monument Mall.
With the new year comes resolutions. Complete your resolution to replace your windows by calling Renewal by Andersen. And right now is your last chance to buy 2019 windows at 2018 prices. Plus, pay nothing until 2020. That's right. You will get 20% off every window and door, plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 12 months. And free window diagnosis, free in-home estimate, and free removal and disposal of your old windows. Hurry. This offer ends February 15th. Call 472-2199 to take advantage of this offer before the 2018 prices are gone.
It is never too early to start planning for retirement, and working with an experienced financial advisor can put you on the right path.
At Platte Valley Investment Center, our team of financial advisors will work with you every step of the way to maximize your retirement income.
Call me, Jody Rosiska, or Rick Morehouse, financial advisors, to set up your free, no-obligation consultation.
Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Life well planned.
And finally tonight, the Nebraska Department of Transportation has announced 21 proposals have been selected for funding in the third round of the County Bridge Match Program. The program provides funding to counties for the innovative replacement and repair of deficient county bridges. The third request for proposals was announced back in October, with $4 million to be distributed in counties across Nebraska. 54 counties submitted proposals for 166 bridges, and on Friday, 3 projects in Scotts Bluff County were identified among the 21 proposals selected for funding, and each will consist of rehab with precast deck panels on bridges southwest of Mitchell at Fort Laramie Canal, southeast of Lyman at Kiowa Creek, and over a stream 4 miles south of Mitchell. Scotts Bluff County is also beginning work on a bridge replacement over the Tri-State Canal today, stemming from a County Bridge Match Program grant from 2017. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you here next time.